Well, let's make it clear before we get into Islamism that Christianity is good, but for the European. It was put together for him, for his earthly salvation. And we like to see the Europeans in Christianity because it was prepared by their forefathers. But let's make it very clear that we are returning to Islam and giving Christianity back to the European nations. We don't want it. We don't disrespect it, but that's his stuff. We know that during the time of physical slavery, Christianity was forced upon our people, as it was in 1480, from 1480 to 1492, the Spanish Inquisition in Spain. It was forced upon us. And those who became Christians amongst our people were called Moriscos. So, and even when we, over here in this part of our land, we know that Christianity was part of what they call the black codes. In order to be a good slave, you had to be, your slave had to be a Christian. If Christianity was going to save us, it would have saved us a long time ago. Jesus himself was not a Christian. We know that. But when you get to Islam, Islam is a religion that was just, it's in us from birth. Because whether you called it Islam or not, the whole practice and faith and the mastering of yourself was what our people did all along anyway. We always did that. We always care for one another. We always had bonds of affection with one another. You know, there was a time, to give you an example, that when our people got old, we never sent them to the old folks' home, to the nursing home. We kept them in our own house. We took care of them. We bathed them. We fed them. We gave them a place to eat. We really care for them. We really, really care for our people. There was no such thing as no old folks' home. What is an old folks' home? And even today, the old folks' home is just, the walls are busting loose with all that information and knowledge that they have that are in there, that they could be sharing with us to be better human beings. Better mothers, better fathers, better brothers, better children, better everything. So Islam is our way. Now, they say Muhammad Ibn Abdullah of Arabia brought Islam. No, he did not. The record shows that Islam was always here. It tells the world that I am my own master. I am. And everything that occurs is because of me. It don't occur, it's me. I can't blame my faults and failings on a fictitious entity called the devil with a red tail and a red. I can't blame that on him. It's me. Islam puts the responsibility in our own lap, like it should be. Oh, no, it's not. No, it was him. The devil made me do it. No, well, the prophet teaches us if you're going to find your devil, he look like you. It's you. It was you all along. Trying to put that on somebody else. You know, you can't do that. It's you. And it's you who can save yourself too. It's you. It is you. And it's been you all the time. It took me a while to figure that out in Moorish sciences. Man. At one time, I couldn't find a job. Well, I've got my degree. I can't find my job. It was me. Every interview I go on, I'm dressed nice. I articulate very well. So I sat down to meditate and said, you know, man, it's you. You have to get in touch with the Allah in you, your higher self. I said, higher self, get that job. So it was one opening for this job. It was 32 people applied for one job. So I left the interview. The next day I called back early in the morning. I said, good morning, this is Mr. Bey. Yeah, what do you want? When you here yesterday? I said, yes, I was here. Sir, I'm just calling to find out my schedule. What schedule? I said, I don't mean any harm. But I just would like to know the days and the hours that you want me to come in and work. Well, who said you had the job? Who said you had a schedule? Mr. Brown. Never forget his name. I said, Mr. Brown, again, I don't mean any harm. But I'd appreciate it if you could give me my schedule so I could come in and do my job. He said, I'll talk to you later. Next 2 hours, Mr. Bey, you come in Monday, 8 o'clock in the morning. My higher self in me said that was my job. I told my higher self through my Lord Almighty, I have that job. And I kept the job for 20 years. It's called a health inspector. and I traveled all around the world in Chicago by inspecting people of all nationalities. And without leaving Chicago, seeing their way they do things and left the restaurants and started inspecting wholesale houses. Then got in a special federal program to inspect shellfish. Then traveled all over the world doing shellfish. I met somebody new every day. Because of my Lord Allah Almighty and the higher soul, the confidence in me. It was me all the time. It's us all the time. Islamism is the system of Islam. It's the whole system. See, we don't separate government from religion. It's one and the same in Islamism. I watched a program a couple of months ago about I think it was CBS. They were interviewing Muslims in Pakistan and asked them, says, well, why are many Muslims joining ISIS and terrorist groups? And he says, because they are stupid. They don't know what Islamism is. He says, I used to be a part of that. He says, I turned away from that because me and many Muslims in the East, we are trying to return to Islamism. And so the broadcaster says, well, what is Islamism? He says, it's the whole system. He says, the living and the practicing of Islam, all of it, the unity, the peace, the serenity, being fair with each other, being fair with the world. It's the whole system. Like communism or socialism, it's the whole system of Islam. Islamism is the whole system of living in peace and harmony with all life on this planet Earth. Islam is a religion of peace. It's a religion of, I could put it to you like this, because in the beginning of time in the Garden of Eden, which we call Mecca, everyone there was about the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. The harmonies of life. The harmonies of life. Oh, the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. It breeds that. Not lower self, not hatred, slander, murders, lewdness, theft, not specifically in that order, but doesn't breed that. So Islam is about the harmonies of life. That's what Islam is. So knowing that it's been like the beginning since time, when Muhammad ibn Abdullah of Arabia came to the scene, he said to the Asiatic nations, which we all of a divine origin, that we must bring back our oneness, one community, one ummah, and call it Islam. And this one community, which all the Asiatics hold together, and you find it in the chapter of divine origin of the Asiatic nations, is the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, And what is just right was right. So that is Islam, from my understanding, from reading the Prophet Noble Ali, his teachings, and reading and studying and sitting in halls of learning, not staying, but sitting in halls of learning that bring this cohesiveness together. Now, Islam given to us by our Prophet Noble Ali requires for us to recognize that we are the children of one Father. We are provided for by his care. We are. And that is our connection as a member of the Asiatic nations of America. And the breast of one mother has given us suck. So realizing that, and I'm going from the divine origin, the divine covenant of the Asiatic nations, let the bonds of affection, generally loving each other, not looking to get something from each other because I love you and you love me, not asking for something in return, generally affection, showing affection to one another, generally caring about one another. And the faults and failings of our brother bring a pain to our heart. We should be devastated about the faults and failings of our own brother. That's why we don't teach hate. There's no room for hate in Islam. We don't teach that. We don't teach terror in Islam. We teach harmony, the mother of virtues, and the harmonies of life. You know, the prophet said that virtues, if you're going to learn some, virtues is of the highest learning. That's the highest learning. But you can't have them all at once. They are allotted to us in various stations, right? Islam. So Islam is a beautiful religion when you look at the attributes behind it and what comes with that, this understanding, this living, the concept of virtues and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. You know, speaking of, you could take one word like mercy from Islam. Mercy is like an ocean. You know, you can go so many fathoms in the ocean without a diving suit on and you're just crushed. The pressure will crush you. That's it. You have to have a certain diving suit, and even with a certain diving suit on, you can go so far in what is measured as fathoms in the ocean. Well, just think, our earth has more water than it has land. Allah's mercy is like the ocean. Merciful Father. And that's why our people in the sugarcane fields over here in this part of our land, in the cotton fields, their battle cry was, "Oh Lord, have mercy on our soul. Mercy, God, mercy, mercy. Send us someone to deliver us from this hell that we're in." Lo and behold, 1886, we believe he sent us the great prophet Noble Ali, the angel of the bright light, to liberate us from this thing called physical slavery. And now we have mental slavery. He's continually liberating us from that as well. Because you are what you think you are. If you think you're a Negro, black, and colored and act like one, then you are that. In 1852, Senator Henry Berry, he says, if we keep the miseducation of the Negro, that's the name of the book. He says, if we keep miseducating this Negro, we will have this person like a beast in the field. And believe me, the liberation for our people then and now and in the future will be education. Like the education of Mary and Elizabeth is on Egypt. It will be educating them to who they are, educating them to what is right, what is wrong, educating them of the higher self and lower self, educating them to their own religion of Islamism. I believe that.